Hey guys, Dr. Kresimir here, chiropractor from London, Ontario, Canada. Take like 36 on this one. On this week's video, I'm going to be showing you overlooked things that you might be doing for this particular hip stretch, which is a classic, super important and super helpful. But before that, please like, share, subscribe. Let's get this information out to so many of us who are doing nothing but sitting in this modern day, and as a result, we're developing extremely tight hips. We know this is a problem, so I wanted to share with you the devil's in the details, right? So showing you the little things that you are overlooking or you could be overlooking is gonna make all the difference. I'm here because I needed to pick up some equipment to train at home this week. I cannot wait to get back. So the stretch that I wanted to show you is this classic hip flexor. So it would be, you're working on this hip. I'm gonna move the phone down a little bit. You don't need to see my face. My wife tells me I have a face for radio, if you can believe that. I believe it. So we're gonna be working on this hip. As you can see, 90 degrees, hip, this hip's 90 degrees, this knee's 90 degrees. So typically, it's supposed to be stretching this hip flexor here. What most people do is, in this position, you don't really feel like you're doing anything. Typically, you're not. So that brings out this arch that most people try to do, and it's, you know, when it's this. And then what ends up happening is you're placing an extremely high, because what happens when I go forward like this, my spine arches back. That puts a lot of pressure on the facet joints in the posterior or the back part of my spine. It can cause a lot of problems. And not only that, it doesn't really get where I want it to get. So what I want you to do instead, get in this position, turn. You can see my glute flexing there. I'm not trying to show off. I'm just showing you that the first step is to turn this muscle on, reach the same side hand up over my head, because we want to stretch here. And then as a result, now when I have this, now I'm just gonna lean forward a little bit, and I can immediately feel that turning on right now. If it needs to be a little bit more on the inside, I'm gonna take this foot, turn it a little bit that way. If I need it more on the outside here, I'm gonna turn this foot out facing like that, flex my glute, and away we go, okay? So, devil's in the details, guys. Just one little tweak can make all the difference. The other thing that I want you to do, if this is a stretch that you're currently doing, hold it for at least 2 minutes. Set a timer, get in that position. You should feel that stretch, and then you want to hold that stretch for at least 2 minutes. Repeat it. Well, I guess it depends on how often you're sitting, but I mean, if you're still feeling it, if it feels like it's stretching, then it would be okay to repeat it 2 or 3 times per day, especially if you're sitting a lot. Yeah, if there's any comments or questions, because I could keep going on and on about hip flexors and hip flexor stretching, but we'll leave it at that for today. Comments or questions, please post them below. Have a wonderful week. I hope the weather treats us well in London, Ontario, and I'll see you soon.